Hey everybody, it's Amy Head with New Perspectives for Life. Today is Thursday, May 8th, 2014, and we are here in Marietta, Georgia on another beautiful, beautiful spring, almost summer-like day. We've had really high temperatures up into the 70s and high 80s, and it's been very, very pretty, and I hope it's been a good week where you are as well. Kind of been thinking about sort of the theme of the week this week with clients. I know last time we talked about, seemed like the theme was a lot of grief and loss last week. This week, what I have noticed with my clients and some of my counseling sessions, it seems like the theme this week has been around dealing with difficult people, whether it's marital, whether it's a work relationship, parent-child, whether it's just somebody like a neighbor, just somebody in their lives. My clients are finding that they are having trouble dealing with difficult people. They are finding that people are reacting to them or treating them negatively or hurtfully, and then my clients are having trouble managing that. And a lot of what happens is my clients are internalizing that treatment by other people and deciding for themselves that there must be something wrong with them as to why these people would treat them like this. So in thinking about that, I thought I would share a thought with you that I often share with my clients, and that is this. Basically, we treat others with what we have to give. Or in other words, other people treat us and give us what they have to give. For example, if let's say there's a couple kids at school and there's a bully. Well, the bully is bothering and picking on other kids, okay? So the bully has several kids that he or she picks on. Well, it can't be that each of those kids has the exact same thing or even has something wrong with each of them. The general notion that I come from is there is something going on with that bully that makes that person treat others that way. That bully is giving others what that bully has to give. Either that bully is currently being bullied, or maybe that bully has been treated badly in the past, and this is how that person has, I guess, either been sort of conditioned to or has decided to treat other people. But in some way, that bully is treating other people not because necessarily of who the other people are, but because of what that bully has to give. Think about it this way. If you're generally a kind, nice person who feels pretty confident and secure about who you are, or you have a good support system, chances are it's not going to be probably your first inkling to bully over somebody. If they rub you the wrong way or say something that you don't appreciate, it's probably not going to be your first response to kind of bully them over, because you don't really have that to give. You have more of things to give, like support, maybe trying to be empathetic, maybe just not really paying too much attention, not letting that get to you as much, because that's what you have within yourself. All right? So with my clients, when they talk about being treated badly by these people, or that they're having a tough time dealing with difficult people, part of what we talk about is, okay, let's look at what your role is in this. But even beyond that, no matter what your role is, it is still up to the individual person to decide how he or she is going to react, respond, and treat someone else. If someone treats me badly and is disrespectful to me and says nasty, mean things to me, yes, it might be hurtful, it might make me mad, it might push my buttons, on and on and on, but ultimately, my response is my choice. It's up to me. And it comes from a place, and it comes from what I have within to give back to that person. So for example, when somebody is being difficult, and they're being difficult repeatedly, that's probably because that's what they have to give. And that's not to say that's a judgment or even to point out a flaw. That might be all that they have. And chances are they might be doing better than what they were actually given. I see that a lot with family dynamics and relationship dynamics, especially parent-child. Like a child will feel like, or a teen, or even a young adult child will feel like the parent is controlling or overbearing or uninvolved or a variety of things. But when you explore it and you look at what that parent was given as a child from his or her parents, they were given even less than what their child feels they're receiving from that parent. So in other words, this parent that I'm seeing in this family session is actually doing better with being a parent than what parenting they receive from their parents. So usually when someone is acting and treating others with what they have to give, usually they are doing a better job than what they have actually been trained or conditioned to do. And in some respects you can almost say, you know, they're doing a better job. It may not be what you need or want, but let's look at the fact that this is their stuff, not your stuff. Okay? So when you go to a store and you're at the checkout counter, and the checkout clerk is extremely nice and cordial and great customer service, you might not have been very nice, or you might not even have been invested in the process, or you might have been very nice. Doesn't matter. That person is giving you ultimately what they internally naturally have to give. Other side of the coin, let's say you go through a checkout line and the checkout clerk is kind of disengaged, rude, not really kind in their tone, and you didn't really do anything to bring that on, or maybe you did. Doesn't matter. They're giving you naturally a portion of what they have to give. I talk about it like this when I'm working with teenagers a lot, because it's a very tangible, real example. If I got to drive home from here and I need some gas, I need $10 to get me home, and I say, can you give me $10? No matter how much you might want to give me $10 and help me, if all you have to give is $5, you cannot give me 10. You can only give me that which you have. So I can hope for 10, I can want 10, I can pray that you give me 10, but if you only have 5 to give and it's not enough, there's not really much else that can be done. That's all you have. When difficult people give out difficult nature, when they're mean or rude or bully or disregard your feelings or lack compassion, don't seem to care about your opinions, they're giving you what they have to give. It says more about them than it says about you. So the last thing you need to do is internalize what they have and make that your own. You don't need to do that. What we need to do is say, okay, do I have some responsibility in this interaction? If the answer is yes, own that and figure out what to do about that part. But we cannot take on what others give us based out of what they have to give. So that helps us distinguish between dealing with these difficult people. Is it my responsibility to make them easier to deal with? Or is it my responsibility to make sure I am doing the best that I can do, and to make sure that I am not taking on and internalizing what they are giving to me? I hope that's helpful in that distinction of dealing with difficult people, because usually when we're dealing with difficult people, they are not difficult because of us. They might say they are, they might think they are. There may be patterns of behaviors that have been generated over time that make it look that way, but ultimately they are difficult because that is what they have to give. And chances are, from a strengths perspective, they are probably doing better than what they were given. So from that respect, you can almost sort of have a little bit of empathy on that point. However, it does not make it mandatory or even necessary that we take on the results and the ramifications of their difficult behavior. I hope that's helpful for you as you're going through your relationships. If you're dealing with difficult people, to remember that it's more that their difficult behavior says more about them than you. All right, I hope you have a great rest of the afternoon today and a good start to the weekend. Thanks so much for joining me, Amy Head, New Perspectives for Life in Marietta, Georgia, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks.